Have you ever wondered why your parents or grandparents seemed to build a comfortable life on just one salary, while today that feels like a fantasy? You're not just imagining things. The economic landscape has fundamentally shifted. Let's break down the stunning truth of why one salary can't buy the American dream anymore. It all starts with the rising cost of living, which has become a relentless headwind for the average household. In major cities, and even many suburbs, housing prices have skyrocketed, putting home ownership out of reach for many. This isn't just about the initial down payment. It's about the monthly mortgage becoming an insurmountable obstacle on a single income. Meanwhile, the costs of daily life have climbed relentlessly, outpacing wage growth. Your grocery bill is higher, your utility payments have increased, and filling up your car costs significantly more than it did a decade ago. These incremental increases add up, squeezing household budgets until there's little room left to breathe. Furthermore, healthcare and insurance costs have transformed from manageable expenses into a significant financial burden. For a single-income family, a single major medical event or a chronic condition can be financially devastating. Even with insurance, this constant financial pressure makes it difficult to save or invest for the future. Compounding this problem is the issue of wage stagnation. For the better part of the last few decades, average wages have failed to keep pace with the rate of inflation. This means that even if your paycheck has gotten bigger in numbers, its actual purchasing power has effectively shrunk. As a result, many single-income households are struggling to maintain the lifestyle standards that were once considered middle class. The financial security that a steady job once promised has eroded, leaving families feeling like they're running on a treadmill. They are working just as hard, if not harder, but find themselves falling further behind. This economic reality has made it incredibly difficult to get ahead or build wealth on one salary. Saving for retirement, planning for a child's education, or even building an emergency fund becomes a luxury rather than a given. The gap between income and expenses leaves little to no margin for error or opportunity. Education expenses represent another massive hurdle. The cost of college tuition has grown at an astronomical rate, far outstripping inflation and wage growth. This has turned higher education, once a gateway to upward mobility, into a significant source of debt for an entire generation. The financial strain isn't just a future problem. It's a present one for families trying to plan ahead. A single income often cannot cover both basic living expenses, like housing and food, while also setting aside enough for children's future educational costs. This forces parents into making incredibly difficult choices about their family's priorities. Consequently, student loan debt has become a defining feature of the modern economy, weighing down millions of young adults. This debt delays major life milestones, such as buying a home, getting married, or starting a family. The dream of giving your children a debt-free start in life is now exceptionally difficult to achieve on one salary. These pressures have led to a fundamental shift toward dual-income households. What was once a choice has now become a necessity for many who wish to achieve a middle-class lifestyle. The economic model has evolved, and families have had to adapt to survive. Two incomes are now often required to afford the basics that one salary used to cover: a modest home, a reliable car, and annual family vacations. This isn't about luxury. It's about financial stability and providing a secure environment for children. The single-earner household, once a pillar of the American economy, is now an economic exception rather than the rule. This trend has profound effects on family dynamics, work-life balance, and the demand for childcare. With both parents working, coordinating schedules and managing household responsibilities becomes a complex logistical challenge. The need for affordable, high-quality childcare has become more critical than ever. Yet it remains another significant expense. All of this means the American dream itself is changing. The traditional image of a single breadwinner supporting a family, owning a home with a white picket fence, and comfortably saving for the future is becoming increasingly unrealistic. That picture-perfect ideal was built on an economic foundation that no longer exists for the majority of people. To cope, families are forced to adjust their expectations of what a successful life looks like. This might mean renting for longer, delaying home ownership indefinitely, or forgoing certain experiences they once hoped to have. The goalposts for financial success have moved, and many feel they can never catch up. Alternatively, many individuals are working multiple jobs or taking on side hustles just to make ends meet. The gig economy has grown not just out of a desire for flexibility, but out of sheer financial necessity. This relentless hustle is a direct response to the inadequacy of a single, full-time salary. The constant financial stress has a significant impact on mental and societal health. Worrying about bills, debt, and an uncertain financial future can lead to chronic anxiety, burnout, and a reduced overall quality of life. This financial pressure can strain relationships and diminish the simple joys of daily living. The societal implications are far-reaching and will shape our future for decades to come. We are seeing trends of delayed marriage and delayed home ownership as young people wait until they feel more financially secure to take these major life steps. This economic instability is fundamentally altering the traditional timeline of adulthood. Furthermore, the financial burden of raising a child is leading many to have smaller families or to postpone parenthood altogether. When the cost of housing, healthcare, and education is so high, the decision to have children becomes a complex economic calculation. These individual choices, when aggregated, have a massive demographic impact on society as a whole. So, what can be done? In the face of these challenges, potential solutions and practical tips are more important than ever. On a personal level, meticulous budgeting and financial planning have become non-negotiable skills for managing a household's finances effectively. Individuals can also explore new avenues for income, considering side hustles, developing new skills for a higher-paying career, or learning about investing can provide additional financial security. In this new economy, relying on a single source of income is a risky strategy. From a policy perspective, systemic solutions are needed to address the root causes of this issue. This includes advocating for policies that promote real wage growth, ensuring that paychecks keep up with the cost of living. Initiatives to create more affordable housing are also critical to easing one of the biggest financial burdens on families. Additionally, government support for affordable High-quality childcare could alleviate a major expense for dual-income households and provide more flexibility for single-income families. Policies that address the rising cost of higher education and the burden of student loan debt are also essential. The path back to a more achievable American dream requires both individual effort and collective structural change.